Hey everybody, welcome to Example of Play. In this video, we're playing a little more Field of Glory Kingdoms. Last time I left off kind of at the beginning of the game playing as the Solomonic Dynasty. I've jumped ahead about 30 turns or so, just because the start was very slow, since you started with just like one province and we're kind of having to bide my time. So I figured I'd jump ahead a little bit and jump back into this video at a point where things are a little more interesting. So we'll give a quick overview. If we zoom out, we can see there's plenty of conflict going on in the world. West Africa, lots of fighting going on. Everywhere that's striped means it's an occupied location. And then up in Europe, lots of occupied territory, so lots of wars going on up there too. And down in our little corner, where we're trying to form ultimate goals to kind of try to form Ethiopia here. I basically kind of bided my time, like I said, built up my army. My main problem was my manpower gain was very slow each turn, so I couldn't build very many units. But I kind of just kept waiting for an opportunity to come up, and then one did. This province below me, which was, I forget what their name was now, but they were here. I had a claim on them, and then they got into a war with Zagwe here, and then Zagwe sent their army in, took out the army here, and captured the city like really quick, like in one turn, which was surprising. But then they got into another war, and they marched their army off, and then rebels popped out. So I just went in and took out the rebels and just snatched that up real easy while they were distracted. So that worked out. Then I was kind of waiting around for another chance, and I got a claim on this Showa province. And so I said, okay, I'm going to declare war and go take them on, since I was strong enough. And then the same turn, I declared war on them. The kingdom of Alodia over here, which is pretty big. They're this kind of tan color. They go all through up here. They declared war on me. The exact same turn, I declared war on them, and I had like heretics pop up, a whole bunch of stuff. So definitely spiced things up. And then it worked out for me because I was trying to lay siege here because my home capital here is got really strong garrison, 126 garrison strength, so they can hold out pretty well. And in this province, I figured I could just go back and take it if I needed to. But then the Kingdom of Alodia, they just kind of kept hanging out, so I brought my army over and ended up having a battle with them and winning pretty decisively. And now I've kind of got them on the run. Now I've invaded their territory, defeated a couple of their armies, and now I've got this next one I could take them on too. One of my strengths is I got this Fletcher building came up. I built it. It gives me archers and skirmishers that start at level 1 when they're created, which is pretty powerful, it seems like, because I don't know the ins and outs of what leveling up does exactly for your unit. Obviously, it's going to make them a little more effective. But getting a unit to level 1, they have to fight a lot of battles. Like I have some of these guys that have been in my army the whole time, and they only have 20 or so of the 50 experience points they need to go up to the next level, from level 0 to level 1. And all my archers and skirmishers start at level 1. So basically, they just start right off the bat, much more effective. So I've been kind of leaning into that, building a lot of archers and skirmish units. So with all that said, let's go ahead and play a few turns and see if we can. I'm going to try to just smack Alodia around while I've kind of got them on the run. I can defeat their army. These territories here, they're not really that great. They're just kind of pretty basic, but I could snap them up pretty easily and then maybe force them to hand them over. I have claims on a couple of them, but not some other ones. I was thinking I needed to get out of that war, and then now I've kind of turned the tide around on them, so that's pretty exciting. So I've kind of got them on the run now. All right, but before we move anybody, let's see if I can build. So yeah, here in my capital province, I've got a building slot available. I've built it up pretty well. I've got lots of stewardship buildings, and I got rid of some of the negative buildings that were here at the beginning. Also, besides the Fletcher, I've got a spearmaker. And then now I've got this barracks, which removes the hastily levied penalty for my infantry units. And so if I bring them home, hopefully that'll get rid of it. So pretty much all your units early on, when you're kind of bare bones, they'll start with this. You can kind of see it by the cursor there, this hastily levied negative modifier that just makes them like less effective across the board. Because I guess they're not really like a professional army, they're just kind of guys you threw together. So to make them, but now that I have a proper barracks, I can get rid of that negative modifier. I might march them home just to see if it gets rid of that for us. And then could also build, I'm having a lot of problem with heretics, so if we look at the religious map, you can see this is Miaphistic Christian, all through here, the purple. I've taken these areas, but they are pagan there, and then Sunni Muslim over here. So we got some religious conflict going on potentially. We need to work on converting those places, kind of stabilize that. And that's kind of kept coming up a few times. But for now, let's see. We can get a horse herd. Rat catcher gives us some money. That's a 0 slot. So now I'm kind of running up against where I've run out of slots. So they just come every time the population goes up, I can build another building. But it does make the 0 slot buildings attractive because it lets you throw on a little bonus without worrying about using up that last spot. I think we'll take the rat catcher there since that seems like a nice little extra money. And then here, see another Fletcher. I don't need that since I already have it in my capital. The scribe gives us a pretty big legacy bonus, 1 point of legacy every turn, and some money. But it doesn't give us any piety. Really, I need that to kind of help convert because this province is still mostly pagan. It'll take a little time to get them converted. I can also spend, I have a lot of authority built up. Basically, my authority is at 60 and I've kind of stopped gaining it. So I might see if I can just build a piety building to help with all the conversion. If you do this, you spend some of your authority to basically pick a building you want versus just picking from the random ones that pop up. But it's also limited. There's only certain ones you can choose from. But yeah, I might take this. That gives me a little legacy and 10 points of piety, so I'm going to take that. It'll take 7 turns to build. We'll move these guys down to infrastructure, now just 4 turns, so that'll be a little bit better. Growth is in 10 turns. Yeah, I'm going to shift down a little bit. And then I did manage, I got a special, a regional decision, let me get 2 units of nobles here. So once I do get some stewardship buildings up, I figured that'll help me kind of stabilize that area a little bit better. And then here, I have control here, but I'm just going to leave it alone for now. Let it build what it was building. It's a little tricky right now because I have some more manpower. I could build some more units, but I can't really afford more than 1 army at a time, and I've split, kind of sending them between these 2 different places. And the siege, where I was trying to siege Showa, that was going really slowly because I didn't have quite a big enough force to force the issue there. So I had to march off to fight this other war, but it turned out to go pretty well since I defeated a couple armies. Now I have kind of the upper hand. I did also got enough progress tokens, so you kind of get those over time. If you have good authority, basically your nation is stable, you'll gradually get these tokens, and now I'm an ascending dynasty. So where we started off just a dynasty, now we're ascending, so we're on our way to becoming a kingdom, so that's good. And then we maxed out on these regional decisions. So I can only have 12. Somehow I have 13 now. But you can sell these off to make room, so you kind of want to do that, especially if you have ones that you're not going to use. You can sell those to get bonus resources back, and then it opens it up to get some other kind of decision. So like here, like sneak attack. Ooh, I want to hang on to that because that's a pretty good one if I wanted to start another war later. But like I have this build harbor, which would be great if I had a spot along the sea, but I don't, and I probably won't anytime soon. So I'm probably gonna sell that one. And then I have 2 of Fight the Plague, sell one of those. We'll just get rid of a couple. Liberate region. I'm not gonna give up a region anytime soon. So that gives you some resources, some power, sometimes manpower, sometimes a lot of money. You can sell those off, so I'll do that. And then these guys still have hastily levied. I'm gonna let them sit here for one. Maybe send them even into garrison. I don't know. We'll see if that gets rid of that hastily levied modifier. And then if Elodia shows up, we can still march out and go fight them. Now here I do have control, even though it's a little bit unstable at the moment, but we'll think about future with them if we did hang on to it. I already have horses, I think. We'll just do farm. That's kind of a good all-rounder for the future. Oh, yeah, they marched back in there, but that's okay. We can always take that right back, because that's not like a heavily fortified city or anything. It has basically no defenses. And every time we defeat them in battle, we are also increasing our war score so we can force the issue. And then as far as the scoreboard, I'm about halfway up it now. I'm in 115th place. I'm gaining some legacy, decent amount of legacy points every turn. So nowhere near the top, but much better than where we started at the bottom. Right now we're in Ascending Dynasty, so that's good. Ooh, all right, I like this one. You can turn one of your peasants into a freeman, which they're basically a little more versatile, a little bit better. And so we'll do one back in the capital since I'm kind of running short there. I converted one of them. I had a decision to convert one of them into clergy to kind of help with the religious issue because they kept popping up there. All right, so that force has got 44 combat power. These guys still have hastily levied, so I don't know if it gets rid of them if they've already been created. Maybe not. Maybe it'll only do it for new units built there. So we'll march out to fight those guys. And then I can build another building. I've got enough infrastructure saved up that we can build everything in just 1 or 2 turns. That's the levy camp. It seems like it's kind of like a better version that gives us some more manpower. And reduces manpower cost. Go for that since it doesn't take up a spot again. The further I get into this game, definitely get that kind of one more turn feeling. All right, let's see. All right, we intercepted their army. Should win this battle pretty easily. Oh, yeah, just like one chunk of their guys got caught out. One, so they just had the 2 units. One still managed to survive and get away. And we take back control of the area since the city there is like not even fortified, I don't think. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to be aggressive with them, just keep attacking them, and then maybe force them to hand over territory. Work out in my favor. Oh, yeah, now we have a claim on their capital there, so that's nice timing. And then we got this decision, sap authority. Oh, but we need a spy network before we can do that. Probably not going to have a spy network anytime soon, so I'm going to go ahead and sell that one. And then our force, yeah, let's just send it to go fight their strongest army that I can see. Try to take it out. Now I'm going to move these freemen down to here, commerce, so I can make some more money. Making money is always good. Down here we can't build anything else. For the moment, so send them down there to generate some money as well. We got the Pilgrim's Refuge going, which gives us a nice piety bonus and some money and some legacy, so that's pretty good. And then Showa over here, we're still at war with them, but they're hiding out. They don't want to come out and fight, so we'll just let them hide over there for a while. Ooh, got them good right there. Yeah, pretty decisive fight. Now this territory, it does have a 96 power garrison holding the city, so we'll probably move on, not try to capture it right now. Go for their capital. All right, we're progressing. Good. Develop region. Let's see what that does. Okay, so it gives them a path or a road if they already have one. That's pretty good. It costs 150 gold, but we have plenty of money right now. Might hang on to that and use it to boost one of these territories if I get it, since they're a little further behind. And here, rather than trying to siege that, I'm going to move on their capital while I can. And yeah, Alodia started this. I did not start it, so it's their fault. Showa, so they tried to raid my territory down here, but they failed. Raiding seems to be a very high risk, high reward thing. If it succeeds, it can really screws up that territory for a while, gives it a bunch of negatives, and the nation that does it gets a bonus. But if it fails, like a huge part of that army that they send just dies. So they still have their garrison, but they lost their army, their field army. So wait, we already saw that. And then I have 152 manpower now, so yeah, naturally I have enough that I could queue up some more units, and we got a nice surplus, plus 33 gold coming in. So we'll go ahead and queue up a little force here. And we'll lean into our archers and javelin men since they all come in at level 1. With all that manpower, and we've got all of the manpower, we've got tons of equipment stored up. We can actually churn out a big army almost immediately, and it kind of maybe they'll be strong enough. We can send them to go siege show us since they wasted their army on a raid. So it's going pretty good now. I say that something will fall apart here in a second. Ooh, a legumes field. I've had a bunch of stuff that needed legumes as a bonus resource to get extra goods from it. Yeah, I could gain an extra 8 money just by having that. So yeah, let's grow some legumes over there. Oh, all right. So they came out to fight us before we could leave the area. So let's see. Hopefully this doesn't wreck my plans. And then my force is always on the bottom. But lucky for me, I just built up a big additional force, so even if we take some casualties here, could divert them to this force to bring it back up to strength. Alright, so we won. We did take some losses. Well, just one unit gone, so that's not too bad. Beat them up pretty good. The one drawback in this game is the load time between turns does take a little while, but not terrible. Gotta spend a minute here kind of checking out the scoreboard every turn. Okay, so yeah, we cruised in there. Now we've weakened their garrison. We defeated most of it, but they're still holding there. And then they sent this force down, which we could defeat. And then a force there, which that's just like one unit. And then our guys here. So I think I'll send them on. Looks like they're still okay. So we're gonna send them on into Elodia's capital area, or at least that's like their starting area. We'll see if we can hold it, and then this new force that I just built, using all my manpower up, they are pretty strong as well. We need to assign a new leader for them. We don't have anyone who's exceptional. We got this guy who's got 2 offense, 0 defense, but we're kind of on the offensive right now. And he's 100% loyal, which now we've kind of, enough time has passed, we figured out the loyalty of most of our people in our court. Basically, don't want to assign anyone with low loyalty to be in charge of the army because they could rebel. And at this point, I don't have a whole lot of ways to manage how loyal people are. But this guy, he's 2, and he increases piety, which we might need here in a minute. He's still got high enough loyalty that he's not going to over 75, so we don't have to worry about him. All right, so we're going to send him out to fight that army, and then maybe we can take out both of their armies there. Then we've got our war scores up to 30. That's good. Build another building here. So flax Flax would be good. I know I have a bunch of stuff that needs it. So whenever you see it, you can see on here. This is like its baseline. It adds some food, -1 infrastructure, gives you flax, which is a resource I need for some stuff. And then down here, by building it, I have a bunch of buildings already that will benefit from adding this. It'll give me an extra food, 14 extra money, and 1 extra manpower. So that's pretty attractive. This warrior assembly would give me a big manpower bonus, but it needs flax. So, see. And then this gives us is a big important building for stewardship to go to like the next tier of buildings, some milestone structure. That's pretty powerful, but I think we're gonna go with the flax field for now because that just gives us a nice boost, and it only takes 2 turns to get it built. All right, so let's do that, and then we'll try to, we can finish off, if we can beat Elodia's field army here and start laying siege to their capital. And I'll bring this army up to reinforce. That would be great. And then, yeah, just checking out all my updates there. And I have 3 of Declare War Goal. I don't need 3 of those. 2 is probably more than enough. And then, yeah, I don't know. I want to hang on. As soon as I sell off that last Fight the Plague, I'll probably get some Plague. We'll do Development Region on this one down here. Help them along. Because you kind of gain money and authority, but you need to spend it. Otherwise, it just kind of builds up. It doesn't do any good if you don't spend it. All right, let's see how my new army does. All right, decent result. Main thing was to drive them out of there. Now I do want to move that army up though and join with my first one because I don't want them to get outnumbered there. It's definitely a game where your armies can kind of get wiped real quick if you're not careful. Alright, the Norman invasion is happening. Doesn't affect us any, but it is important to know changes things back in Europe. And that's even like an option in the settings. You can turn off the Norman invasion just because it's such a big event. Oh, we got build harbor again. We're still not going to be building a harbor anytime soon. Okay, so we've got our force here. They've got a little force there. And then we got a force here, but there's 160 combat power in that garrison, so we probably want to... We've kind of defeated them in the field, but we need to reinforce our main army there. Hopefully they can get there before they sally out and try to fight us. Ooh, yep. Didn't quite happen. And it's like you don't have an option to retreat as far as I can tell. You just have to fight it out. This might turn out bad if my I split my forces. And now, ooh, might suffer a crushing defeat here, looks like. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, so my force pretty much got wiped out. And then the reinforcements... Oh, well, they ran it too. That's not even worth watching. Little battle. Yeah, I think I did myself in on this one. So forces were split, and now they're getting all kinds of beat up. Well, that was my fault. I went for their capital when I should have just stuck out here on the fringes and kept beating them up on the edge. Might have to sue for peace now. Now that I've managed to get my whole big army wiped out after things were going so great right there. Now the one good thing, that garrison force is kind of stuck there. They can't come out and chase after me. But my army is gone. I have one unit still alive. Yeah, that was not good. That was pretty terrible. And now my manpower will replenish, but it'll be a while before we can build back up. Let's look at our options. Ooh, we can deploy a spy network. We might want to do that. Yeah, a lot of battles that turn. Okay, so we have war score 33. Might be time to sue for peace with them, and we'll see what we can get. So we have some claims that we might relinquish to start things off. Oh, yeah, the one weird thing with the negotiating in this, it's like you can only, like if I'm winning, I can't give up, because like I have claims on like this territory up here, which I don't really need necessarily. And I would totally abandon that claim to get some points towards making peace, but it's very one-sided. Peace treaty may only include clauses which benefit the side winning the war. Since I'm winning, I can't like give something up, which I don't quite get that. And then, all right, so yeah. Oh yeah, so provinces are like I don't know, province and region are kind of backwards in this game to me in my head. Provinces are like collections of multiple territories, and then regions are the individual ones. So I could try to ask for the ones that I've taken, but our peace chance right now is 0. Even though I have 33 war score, I wish I could like give up something and exchange, but it's very one-sided. And since I've lost most of my army right now, the modifiers are not in my favor, so 0% no matter what I do. I guess I'll just have to keep fighting the war. And we'll just have to rebuild, I guess, since they're not interested in peace just yet. Now we do have some manpower available, so let's build up some units here. These only cost 13 manpower. I think I have some other bonus that lowers how much the manpower cost is. So our force can't be all archers and javelin men, but right now, since we're low on manpower and they come out right out the gate better, we'll still go with some. Start building them up to, and then yeah, send these guys home to rebuild. Build a building down here. Could go right for the Manch Lord Manor. Gives us a whole bunch of stuff. Milestone structure gives us a nice garrison force. Adds to that. Adds to our stewardship. Kind of across the board, a lot of things. Does sap a little money, but we got plenty of money right now. That would give more piety, but piety, however you say it, we're gonna go with that. Yeah, so overstretched myself, ended up. Oh, and then it caught up to my last survivors before they could get away. Alright, so those last surviving units didn't make it back. So definitely overstretched my hand where I could have just kept defeating them in the field and hung on to their weak territories. I got my whole army wiped out, so now I'm back to square one. But at least I do have decent manpower generation now, so I'm not waiting 5 turns to build another unit. But now Showa has come out to play as well, so now I am kind of stuck. Oh, and my leader's health has degraded to poor. So it is getting a little iffy. See, what does this do? Place holding or concession? So I can put something into one of my neighboring nations, and it's like a building I get there that gives me some kind of bonus that they can't really get rid of unless they get the remove civilized decision. So that's interesting. But we don't really need that right now. We'll sell declare war goal since we're not going to be declaring war on anyone right now, and that gives us a little extra manpower to work with. We need all we can get right now. Build some spearmen. And then if I build 1 archer, it puts me at -1, but I think I can squeeze that out. Start building this force back up. We'll put somebody in charge of it. Give him a chance. And their army's only 38 strength, so they're going to have a hard time. That siege, they're not going to win that anytime soon, so I should be safe to let them sit down there while I build up my strength. Yeah, it's a little iffy out there. Well, it looks like Showa went back home. They weren't interested in a long siege. But now Elodia's built, they're bringing their army together. Now it's strong enough that I can't defeat it head on. Well, when I started this video, I was hoping for something a little more conclusive, and I think I'm in a worse position than when I started and haven't really gained much of anything. They just have better. I don't have very good military leaders. Like they have a 2-2 leader for that force, a 2-0 for that force, and I still don't have my ruler's good administrator, which has been working for me, but not very good military and no good military leaders. And then these guys still start with the hastily levied modifier, which I thought I was getting rid of. with this, because it says remove hastily levied penalty on any type of infantry. Oh, well, maybe infantry and not. Maybe that doesn't apply to the ranged units. But these guys are spearmen, and they still have it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it takes a few turns for it to work. Alright, well, I'm going to stop this video here because it's probably getting long enough. And then I'll come back again sometime soon and we'll see if I can get myself out of this predicament. And maybe we can hang on long enough, build our army back up, and snap some kind of victory out of this. All I really wanted to do, I just wanted to go down here and siege Showa, just their one region nation. I just wanted to go take them out, and I got caught in a two-way war, which is never a good idea. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the video here. Thanks for watching. These videos, this Let's Play series, a little different than the tutorial ones. This is me just kind of playing a game. And if you want to see someone who's not very good at the game playing it and struggling along, then you're in the right place. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.